Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Nate Golubievsky, and I'm part of our solutions consulting team with Magento. Today, we'll be walking through the B2B functionality within Magento. As a quick agenda, we'll first walk through some of the industry trends that both us at Magento, as well as industry analysts, are seeing. Next, we'll jump into the demo itself, walking through custom catalogs, corporate or company accounts, how we can create some streamlined purchasing or faster ways to purchase for our wholesale customers, as well as more unique experiences around negotiable quotes. After that, we'll jump into the question and answer section of this demo webinar. Let's kick off by taking a look at the industry as a whole today. When asked why they're moving their purchases online, the top reasons that wholesale buyers signal is because they're looking for more flexibility to purchase 24/7 from whatever source is most convenient. They don't want to be restrained to the typical 9 to 5 that we see today, or have to call a sales rep during the appropriate sales day. They want to make sure they can browse their products, submit a quote request, or purchase online, even at night. And that ties in line with wanting a faster purchasing process or a more efficient process to get these things done. Similarly, even if your customers aren't purchasing from you online today, they're likely already interacting with your website. Over 60% of wholesale buyers noted that they research half or more of their work purchases online. And similarly, over 60% of those buyers are also researching on their smartphone. So as a seller, it's important for us to take a mobile-first strategy to make sure that we're enabling our buyers to have that flexibility that they're looking for. And if we take that one layer deeper and look at by the end of 2018, over 53% of buyers say they'll make half or more of their work purchases online by the end of this year. So it's important to make sure as a seller that we're adapting to these new trends and enabling our buyers. In turn, this will reward us with buyer loyalty as well as revenue. And when we think about that loyalty aspect, Accenture has actually noted that 71% of B2B buyers say they'd switch suppliers to one with a better overall digital experience. So it's really important to make sure that A, when we're thinking about bringing on new customers, you have better experiences and more unique experiences than your competitors. But B, if you're not keeping up with your competitors, this could have some significant changes or impacts on your business. Now, additionally, buyers are being exposed to new channels outside of just your business. We'll notice that 82% of B2B or wholesale buyers have used Amazon to make at least one purchase for work. So even if they're not purchasing online with you today, they're seeing this expedited purchasing process through businesses like Amazon. So it's important for you to think about how we can expose our product line through those channels, and also how we can compete against that with our own e-commerce portal itself. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the B2B functionality within Magento. I'm currently in our Brent Mill demo environment within Magento. Our Brent Mill demo here is going to be strictly a B2B or wholesale business itself, but we've chosen to expose the catalog to people who browse our website so that they can understand our base prices and do their research online, even if they're not ultimately going to purchase from us. We'll incorporate things like images and the traditional guided navigation that we'd expect within Magento so that our customers can start to understand us as an industry expert or leading expert within our space. Now, as we navigate through this guided navigation, we'll see some traditional Magento functionality that we'd expect. Things like our guided navigation on the left-hand side here, narrowing down based on product attributes. And if I jump into an individual product page here for my research, I can see the general price that I've chosen to expose. I can view any product descriptions or reviews, as well as see similar cross-sells and upsells natively supported within Magento. But I'm not actually able to make a purchase directly on the website here. You'll notice that the add to cart functionality isn't exposed. And this is because leveraging Magento's B2B functionality, we've restricted customers who are not logged in from purchasing on our website. You first need to create a company account and be approved before doing so. And within Magento, we'll notice that we have the concept of both customers and companies. Many customers can belong to one individual company or organization within an account. In this case, I'll go ahead and log in as Dale Doback from Prestige Worldwide. Dale's the owner of his company and he'll have multiple employees that he'd like to manage, as well as his own unique pricing associated with Magento. In this case here, we'll notice that now that I've logged in, Dale's pricing has been updated. You can see that he has a tiered pricing structure that we'd offer to a specific customer group or a specific company, saying that if he buys 5, he'll get a 5% discount. Let's go ahead and take a look at how Magento manages shared catalogs or custom pricing on a per company basis. In this case, within our admin panel itself, in our catalog tab, we'll have a new shared catalogs functionality for our wholesale businesses. Here, Magento will assign unique product availability as well as product pricing based on customer groups. From there, we can assign individual companies to these customer groups themselves. For instance, Prestige Worldwide belongs to our B2B registered users group, where our default catalog for our public customers falls under this type. In this case, if we take a look at Dale's catalog itself, I can manage the pricing and structure associated to a specific company. Once we start to configure, either on a category by category basis on the left-hand side here, or on a per product basis, I can start to toggle these products on or off from Dale's catalog. For example, by untoggling the hammervac here, it will no longer appear when Dale browses my website for his company. Once we've determined the specific product availability for our customers, we can then adjust their unique pricing. In this case here, again, either in bulk or individually, I can choose to give a discount across my product lines, either as a percentage or a fixed price adjustment. Again, what we're enabling here is the ability across shared catalogs to create unique pricing for companies and customer groups themselves. Now, I'll note here that all of the B2B functionality that I'm walking through here is exposed through our APIs. So commonly we might see that in your ERP today, you might have hundreds of custom price books that already exist there. In those cases, it may make sense to go directly to the ERP and fetch that information through our APIs themselves, rather than storing them as shared catalogs in here. Whichever way you choose, this will be supported through Magento itself, enabling your business. Coming back to our Brent Mill website as Dale Doback, prior to ultimately making a purchase, he might actually want to add individual employees to his company and enable them to buy on behalf of his company. To do so, we'll come into Dale's customer portal and start to manage his company on the left-hand side of our portal here. Managing our users, we'll first want to manage our business structure itself. And here I can really easily adjust the teams that work on Prestige Worldwide. In Dale's case, he has 2 different locations, a North Riverside Heights location and a Sterling Heights location. In this case, what we may want to do is actually promote Robert Doback to a regional manager. All I need to do is drag and drop Robert within our tree, and now if he has the appropriate roles and permissions, he'll have the ability to do things like see orders from Nancy Huff and Derek Huff. In order to give him those permissions, we'll first want to edit Robert Doback and adjust his individual role. In this case, we'll go ahead and make him a high-level buyer. Now, to manage those roles, Dale has the ability to self-service this under his Roles and Permissions tab in his customer portal. Here we can see that high-level buyer role that we just used and add a new role as well. In this case, we'll notice that the permissions fall into a few specific categories, primarily around the ability to place orders on behalf of the company using their company credit as well, request one-time negotiable quotes, which we'll walk through in a moment, or manage admin level information around the company profile, things like the account information and individual users themselves. This roles and permissions structure provides the foundation for your B2B experience within Magento. And again, the ability to manage his own buyers, is self-service for Dale Doback as a customer of Brent Mill. Ultimately, every time that Dale adds a new employee or wants to enable somebody else to make purchases on behalf of the company, he doesn't have to call his sales rep up asking to do so. He can self-service and manage this on his own from his customer portal. Again, increasing that experience for Dale to have access and flexibility anytime that he needs to make purchases. Now, in addition to his company users, Dale might want to manage his company's credit. In this case, he can come to his company credit portion of his portal and view his available credit, outstanding balance, as well as any purchases that he's made on credit in the past. Likely, again, this is coming directly from your ERP and being replicated into Magento to display in Dale's customer portal. In this case, if it's something that you'd like to manage within Magento, in the admin panel, under our Customers tab, we'll have a Companies tab available to do so. In this case, if I jump into Dale Doback's company, Prestige Worldwide, I'll go ahead and gain a number of facts about his company themselves. I can see that Brendan Huff is a sales representative. I can view high-level information about the company, as well as the company credit, outstanding balance. And if I need to, I can make any reimbursements as Dale pays off his balance itself, determining how much he's paid off accordingly, and this will show in his account for him. Again, on a company-by-company basis here, in addition to the credit limit, we can also determine if they're able to exceed this credit limit, as well as what payment methods are available for this specific company. Now that Dale's managed his buyers and his company credit, he'll want to make a purchase. And likely because we're beyond our research phase, Dale will want to navigate or bypass our guided navigation and instead have more streamlined purchasing decisions. In this case, within his portal, we could really easily go to a previous order and quickly reorder that. Or alternatively, we'll also have the concept of a requisition list. In this case, Dale has already created a requisition list for his North Riverside location of hardware that they stock. So we can really easily view the requisition list and navigate through our store or our floor itself. And anytime we're low on light points, for instance, I can come in, add these light points to my cart, and easily purchase them. Now, a requisition list will differ from a traditional wish list in that once I've added these products to my cart and purchased them, these products remain in the list. Because, for instance, when we're thinking around inventory, we'll need to replenish our inventory on an ongoing basis. Once I've purchased these light points, that's not the final time that I'm going to purchase them. Now, in addition to being able to do so from this portal, remember that Magento provides a responsive design out of the box, meaning that if Dale was on his floor or his employee was on the floor location of their store as they were going through the inventory, the screen size will respond to both an iPhone or an iPad, for instance, so we can really easily add these products to our cart on mobile devices. In addition to the requisition list, we may actually find that Prestige Worldwide has their own ERP or has already created a list of products that they'd like to order. In this case, they can leverage our quick order form within Magento. In the quick order form, all we need to do is enter the SKU or product name. And as I enter my light point SKU, we'll notice that we're prompted to select the appropriate product and adjust our quantity. I could enter multiple SKUs simply separating by paragraphs, or I could upload a CSV file. So in the case where I've extracted this from my own internal ERP at Prestige Worldwide, all I need to do is upload my quick order form, and we'll notice that the quantity for light points is updated, and we've added a new product as well. Now, Magento is doing a few things as part of this quick order form. The first thing that we're doing is validating these SKUs and making sure that they're available to Prestige Worldwide to purchase, leveraging those shared catalogs that we saw earlier. For instance, if I enter a bad SKU here, we'll notice that I receive an error message because this SKU isn't available to purchase. The second thing that we're doing is making sure we have the appropriate price available for Prestige Worldwide. Again, referencing our shared catalogs. In this case, I have my appropriate tiered pricing for our light points and my negotiated pricing for our AMP. Lastly, we're validating the available inventory to promise and making sure that Dale isn't purchasing more than he's allowed to or more than we have available to promise. In this case, let's go ahead and add these to our cart and get ready to check out. In addition to having the ability to simply check out immediately, within Magento, we have, again, on a company-by-company basis, the ability to offer a one-time negotiable quote. In this case, perhaps Dale has already had a conversation with Brendan Huff offline, maybe through a text message, and they've agreed that he could get a 10% discount on this order. So Dale can simply request his one-time negotiable quote and send this quote off. Now, Dale also has the ability to attach a file here. So say, for instance, they had this via text message and Dale wanted to upload this as proof. He can really easily add this in and provide the details to Brendan accordingly. Now at this point, Magento will route the quote to the appropriate sales rep assigned to the company, and he'll be rerouted to his customer portal where he can view and manage his quotes. Back in the admin panel itself, in our sales tab, we'll have a quotes operation available where we can see that the new quote is available and see that it's been routed to Brendan Huff accordingly. Now, as Brendan's managing this, again, remember all of this is exposed through APIs. So if your sales reps are working in an ERP system today and you'd like them to continue to work in that system, they can do so and route this or communicate between Magento and your existing systems. Now, from the customer's perspective, Dale's perspective, we need to make sure that he has a seamless experience in our customer portal. So for Dale, it shouldn't matter to him whether it's going through Magento or through our ERP. He should be able to manage all of this within his customer portal accordingly. And that's what we're enabling here with Magento. In the case that your sales reps would like to manage the quotes out of the admin panel itself, we'll have that functionality available like we see here. First thing we may want to do is go to our expiration date and update this. Perhaps Brendan promised this price for the end of the month. You'll notice that we can also add any additional products or adjust the quantities. So if Dale was perhaps working on a project and needed some help from his sales rep, Brendan could go ahead and facilitate that accordingly as part of the quote. And additionally, we can adjust the quote total itself. I could give a percentage discount, a fixed discount, or just propose a new price altogether. In this case, we'll go ahead and offer the 10% discount with the consideration that Dale makes the purchase by the end of the month. Once Brendan sends this off to Dale, Dale will receive an email, and if he refreshes his customer portal, we'll see that the quote itself has been updated. In this case here, viewing the quote, Dale can see the items quoted, as well as any comments that have gone back and forth, and a history log of the quote itself. So he has full insights into the status of the quote, the specific discounts that he's been given, or when the quote's actually been changed itself. Now, if there's still concerns, Dale can continue to go back and forth with Brendan, again, keeping in mind that he can submit his comments or submit his quote at any time of the day convenient to him. Alternatively, if Dale's happy with the process, he can go ahead and proceed to the checkout. What Magento is doing here is ultimately creating a one-time shopping cart with the one-time negotiated prices. From here, we can go ahead and check out. Keeping in mind, again, these payment methods can be restricted on a company-by-company basis. In this case, Procedure Worldwide has a line of credit available, so we'll go ahead and leverage the payment on account. And Dale can go ahead and enter his own purchase order number for his internal use. At this point, Dale can now monitor the order directly from his customer portal, while he'll also receive updates about the shipment of the order and so forth. Leveraging our B2B functionality, we've enabled Dale and Prestige Worldwide to have the flexibility to make purchases and do research at any time of day that they'd like, ultimately helping your business increase loyalty and revenue. Now, that being said, once we've enabled this experience, we'll want to make sure that we're monitoring this revenue and the impact it has on our company. And with Magento, you'll gain access to Magento Business Intelligence to continue to monitor this progress. As a quick refresher, Magento Business Intelligence will connect to your Magento data, Google Analytics, and additional third-party data sources, copy that out into a separate data warehouse where we have the reports that we see here available for us. Now keep in mind, these reports are all customizable and flexible, so I could go ahead and edit any of these individual reports, share a dashboard out, or build new reports leveraging our report builder. In this case, if we're new to the e-commerce industry with our business, we'll want to keep track of company adoption. And our company's dashboard that'll be pre-configured for you will help us do so. Here I can see, for instance, that the Tyrell Corporation and Vandelay Industries have taken on our e-commerce portal a lot faster than any other companies that we had. So to help improve on that loyalty, what we may want to do is start to provide them a targeted experience or segment them out using Magento's segmentation engine to provide unique banners or unique promotions associated with these companies. Alternatively, we may want to have the sales reps reach out directly to them. Additionally, on the company's dashboard, we'll be able to drill into company profiles, things like their lifetime revenue, average time between orders and time since last order, and the company credits or those lines of credits that we're allotting to each of these companies themselves. For instance, the Vandelay Industries company is in a negative credit balance right now, so we may want Michael Scott, our sales rep, to go ahead and reach out so that they can make a payment against their account. Now, monitoring this negative balance, we may actually want to create an email summary leveraging Magento Business Intelligence so that every Monday at 9 a.m. perhaps our sales reps receive an email with all of the companies under their names that have this negative credit. Speaking of sales reps, we'll want to make sure that our commerce platform complements our sales reps and enables them to continue helping our business thrive. To do so, we'll have a few sales dashboards specific within our business intelligence account. In this case, our sales rep dashboard will look at revenue brought in by a rep, broken out over time, those one-time negotiation statuses by reps, and their negotiation success rate, as well as the average negotiation change over time. In this case, when we're thinking about negotiation change, ultimately, when a customer reaches out for a one-time negotiable quote, we're likely going to give them some sort of discount so that they convert and purchase. That being said, our best sales reps might be adding additional products to their order and overall increasing that average order value that they're bringing in. And we want to make sure we're recognizing that. In this case, we can see Scott Ross on average adds almost $1,000 to the orders that come in as one-time negotiable quotes. So by leveraging our commerce portal, he's being enabled to make more money and make our company more money. Now, looking at those negotiable quotes, we'll also have a dashboard to look at this in aggregate. We can look at things like the negotiation success rate, the number or percent of carts that are negotiated over time, and our order statuses. Keep in mind, we'll have the ability to share these dashboards out or make any copies of them. For instance, if we wanted a unique sales rep dashboard to share that out for each individual sales rep, I could really easily do so leveraging our Save As functionality and editing the reports that are there to filter down. Now, lastly, we'll have insights into our shared catalogs themselves. How much revenue are we bringing in by those unique negotiated catalogs? And what products are being sold within those catalogs? Leveraging Magento Business Intelligence and Magento Commerce, we're able to create a unique, flexible experience for our B2B buyers. We just looked at how we can create custom catalogs or unique contract pricing across customer groups and company accounts, and how companies can self-service themselves for multiple buyers within their companies, roles and permissions around who can make a purchase or request a negotiable quote, how we can extend lines of credit to those companies, and streamline the purchasing requirements with our requisition lists, quick orders, and reorder. We've also introduced a new level of personalization through negotiable quotes and interacting with our sales reps and monitoring through that with Magento Business Intelligence and reporting. Keep in mind, we focus on the B2B functionality within Magento today. Magento will also support things like expanding to new geographies through our multi-site support, so we can have multiple brands, multiple websites, or just multiple store views for our US store versus our European store across those division lines. We'll also be able to focus on things like your long tail segments, not just your high buying customers. How can we start to self-service that? And for your business, if you'd like to expand outside of just selling direct wholesale or direct to businesses, we may want to have a new store view or support B2C requirements. And all of this is supported through both Magento Commerce and our suite of products with business intelligence, order management, and our marketplace and community contributing to the product every day. For more details on use cases within the world, I encourage you to check out our customers on Magento.com, where you can view in-depth case studies around the customers themselves and how they've leveraged Magento to make their B2B business a success. At this point, we'll open it up to Q&A within the webinar. If you have any questions, I encourage you to enter them into the webinar now, and we'll address them accordingly.